In the ancient times, the kingdom of Israel was at war with the Philistines, their fierce enemies. Among the Philistines was a fearsome giant named Goliath, towering over others at nearly 9 feet tall, clad in heavy bronze armor. He stood on the battlefield each day, challenging the Israelites to send a warrior to fight him. This fight, he said, would decide the entire battle between the two armies. For 40 days, Goliath taunted the Israelites, mocking their God and scaring them with his size and strength. None dared to face him, and fear spread through the ranks. Meanwhile, a young shepherd boy named David lived far away tending to his sheep. David was the youngest son of Jesse and not a soldier. One day, his father sent him to deliver food to his brothers, who were part of the army camped on the battlefield. When David reached the camp, he heard Goliath's taunts. He was not afraid, but rather filled with righteous anger that the giant dared to insult the army of the living God. David asked what would be the reward for the man who defeated Goliath. He learned that King Saul would give riches, his daughter's hand in marriage, and freedom for the family of the brave warrior who could win. Inspired by faith, David decided to take up the challenge himself. King Saul was skeptical. How could a young shepherd fight a seasoned warrior like Goliath? But David recounted his experiences as a shepherd. He told of how he had killed lions and bears to protect his sheep, believing that the same God who saved him from these beasts would help him against the giant. Reluctantly, King Saul agreed and dressed David in his own armor. But the armor was too bulky and unfamiliar, so David removed it. Instead, he chose 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream, placing them in his shepherd's bag. Armed only with his sling and stones, he stepped onto the battlefield. Goliath saw David approaching and laughed, thinking the young boy no match for him. However, David was full of courage and faith, declaring that he came in the name of the Lord Almighty. He promised that God would help him slay the giant. With great skill, David put a stone in his sling, whirled it around, and released it. The stone flew fast and struck Goliath on the forehead, sinking deep. The giant fell, defeated by the unlikely hero. With no sword of his own, David ran to Goliath, took the giant's sword, and cut off his head as a sign of victory. Seeing their champion defeated, the Philistine army fled in terror, and the Israelites won the battle. The story of David and Goliath is a timeless lesson in faith and bravery. David, though young and inexperienced in warfare, trusted in God wholeheartedly, while Goliath, despite his formidable size and strength, had no faith. This tale teaches us that with faith, even the most impossible challenges can be overcome. David's words in Psalm 23, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," reflect his deep trust in God. His victory over Goliath remains a powerful reminder that faith can conquer seemingly insurmountable odds.